Hello there, this is Battleborn again. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the narcissistic intelligence. And I have decided to take this channel a little further down the rabbit hole of narcissists and narcissism and how they operate. Because there is a lot of value in knowing what they do and how to see the tendencies of a narcissistic person or a narcissist. There's a lot of value in that, and we need to know that. But we also should talk about the kind of intelligence that operates within these people, why they are able to do what they do. And because narcissists cannot be reasoned with. You cannot reason with these people because they have an objective that is much more important than you to them, and that is to get supply and also to destroy. And that's why you cannot reason with the narcissist. That's why you cannot that's why they will never take in new information. I don't know if people have recognized that, but a lot of times when we deal with narcissists, we, at least you catch yourself explaining basic human emotions to these people and needs, and they will pretend to listen, but they will not compute, meaning that the information you're giving them is not being recognized as information taken in. So the information you give them about your needs, how you feel, the emotions that you have, is not something that will be able to connect with the narcissist's mind. So the narcissistic intelligence is without empathy. And if you imagine yourself without empathy just for one day, there would be no limits to what you can do and what you cannot do. If you couple this, basically non-empathetic intelligence, with a high level of cognitive intelligence, meaning that these people, a lot of these narcissists, they are able to understand the system around them. They're able to understand laws. They're able to understand society. They're able to understand they're able to understand human emotions to the point that they see human emotions as beneficial for them to manipulate, but not to take a part in that emotional life. So they see human emotions, they understand human emotions very well. So it's not that they don't understand it, they understand it. So the intelligence behind a narcissist understand humans really well, and they know how to get away with the things they do. So that is why they are so dangerous, because we're not dealing with a person that is low in intelligence, because then these people will give themselves away. They would do things to expose themselves, but they don't do these things. They are able, because of their coldness, because there is no warmth in these people. There is nothing that you would think of as human within these people. Absolutely nothing. The program that is running in the narcissist's mind is not similar to what is going on inside you at all. That is my understanding. After dealing with narcissists for most of my life, I've understood that a lot of times, like I have said before in my videos, that a lot of times we project our own inner life onto the narcissist, and that is some of the most dangerous things we can do, because we believe that they are like us. But when in reality, we are actually two different species, I would say. very different species. And that is, I'm not saying that to take away the humanity of anyone, but the narcissists really don't operate as a human in this world. They have made that choice somewhere along their life to prey upon other people, and they have no limits to what they can do to people. Absolutely nothing, because in their mind is very simple. We like to say that they think in win and lose terms, like they calculate everything so that they're going to win and someone else is going to lose. That's why it's impossible to have negotiations. That's why it's impossible to reason with them, because if you get your point across and they have to adapt to what you say, they see that as losing. Because narcissists are extremely petty. It's like they cannot give you an inch of what you want, because in doing so, they view it as a loss. And we can also say that they think in a win and lose kind of way. But they also think in a self-preserving, destroying way. So if that is what a lot of people have realized when they are about to leave the narcissist, because it's not just about you leaving the narcissist. And if the narcissist were truly like cold-blooded, they wouldn't really care that you left. Exactly. They wouldn't be they wouldn't care. They would just be like, okay, and that's where you probably will find the more some of the more psychopathic people that are more self-sufficient. Narcissists have this extremely bad mix of being without empathy and being dependent on people. Whereas, you will find psychopaths that are extremely high in narcissism as well, and they will be this creature that is dependent on other people. But a true psychopath wouldn't really care, and he would go on, or she would go on with her life, and it would be like basically like just they connect and they detach, okay? But with narcissists, it's not that way, because that is very easy to see when you're about to leave a narcissist, because you're not allowed to do that. Because if you do that, they need to destroy you. They need to make sure that you have nothing left to give to another person, that you are basically rendered useless for someone else. Why they think this way is pretty telling on their own nature, because it's very telling actually, because when they view you as an object that is either working for them or is to be destroyed. So, and that is very telling on what they think about other people as well, because the narcissists think, I believe, a lot of times that a lot of people is like them. So if they're not going to be able to use you, they're going to make sure that no one else is going to be able to use you either. That your supplies is depleted, that you are done, that there's not going to be anything left of you for anyone else. And not only for anyone else, but also for yourself, that you are going to be destroyed. Because that is their main objective. If they cannot have you, they're going to destroy you. Think about that just for a second. Like, what kind of mentality and what kind of intelligence is working in such a human being? It's like I was checking around on YouTube, and I was just trying to see if somebody else had made a connection, and there was some other channels on narcissism that have made connections between narcissists and terminators from the movie The Terminator. And I thought that was interesting because I was thinking about this movie myself and how extremely accurate it is when it comes to these narcissists. The way these robots were described in this movie, with no remorse, no pity, were not able to be reasoned with, and basically would never give up until you were dead, until you were destroyed. And how accurate that is, and how you could say the exact same thing about a narcissist. And like I said, a lot of people had made that connection already, that between Terminators from the movie The Terminator, or the movies, I guess there are more than one now, at least 2 or 3, but either way, it's an eerie connection when you see that, and when you realize that that is exactly what they're about. They will stop at nothing to bring you down. And they're so patient as well. You know, they have this patience over them that, like, they can basically stop. And that is what goes on with the hoovering. When you have this situation where you have left, or you've been able to leave, and you have this hoovering phase, which can last for years in some instances. Years. They're just able to tap in and connect with old supply like nothing has happened. That's how cold these people are. They are not operating out of, they don't use any emotions. They pretend to do so. But like I said before, everything you see in the beginning with a narcissist is you. It's a mirror. It's a mirage. It's not real. Everything you see is yourself. Because they are mimickers. They are able to mimic you to get to you. And when we find someone else that is like ourselves, we feel safe because we know what we're dealing with. It's a way of lowering your guard. It's a way to get under your skin. It's a way to get into your life really easily. And this is what abusers do all across, the spectrum. Child molesters will do this as well. They will find something that the children like. They know what children like. And they will use that to get what they want. So it has nothing to do with being a nice person. It's exactly the same with a narcissist. It's got nothing to do with you. It's just about their needs. It's just about getting what they want. But I think that I'm just going to try to leave it at that in this video. I think the most important thing that it's important to remember when it gets to narcissists is not only all these things with love bombing and all these things, but they actually think that if they cannot have you, they need to destroy you. And that is what is taking place usually at the end of these relationships, where they start to figure out that you are onto them, that you understand what they're about. And when you do, you become an enemy. You become an enemy to them, to their way of operating, to their way of existence. So they need to destroy you. Even though you don't want to have anything to do with this person anymore, even though you just want to live your life and just be done with this situation, the narcissist is not going to do it that way. They need to see you demolished before they can leave you, or that they will be able to recognize that you are leaving them. If you are destroyed in some way and they can tell that you have been depleted, then it's okay. It's not okay, but at least they can let it go, because now they feel like they have won. Narcissists have nothing to do with human beings in my view. They're so different in the way they think and operate. It is truly scary when you want to look at these things. And not all people that are called narcissists do it this way, but this is for the extreme ones, the malignant ones, the ones that are driven by so much hate and envy. They just cannot stand to watch other people happy. And the worst thing for a narcissist ever is to have a supply leave them, and that the supply is happy afterwards. And that's what I think a lot of victims feel, that they are not allowed to be happy after the relationship. They're not supposed to be living a good life after they have been with a narcissist, because that's what the narcissist wants. They want you to live in the shadows. They want you to be gone from this world if they had a choice. And a lot of people are driven that far, that they are driven to the edges. They have to move to get away from the narcissist. They have to change cities. They have to leave their families. Some people will never see their kids again. These people are destroyers of society. So I think I'm going to end this video now before it gets too long. And just want to thank you for listening in. And I want to thank all people that have subscribed to my channel. I've seen that we have over 600 subscribers now. That's pretty good for me. I started this channel just to talk about narcissists and narcissism and narcissistic abuse, and to share my story. And yeah, so I'm really, really thankful for all the people that have subscribed, the people that comment. So much valuable information that people are sharing. That's great. So thank you for listening in, and have a good day.